The truth is, Filipina women are not interested in you. In this episode, I will prove to you that women simply care about your money, that you are a walking ATM, and that none of these women who are talking to you online actually give a shit about you. It's very simple. Do not forget this. No matter how much you think they like your money more. How many times have you spoken to a woman who showed zero interest in you, and that you have to continue the conversation and drag the story along just to have some kind of interaction? How often does she go without messaging you? How many days? How many hours? And you can say, well, the girl I'm speaking to is clingy. Yes, that's a different type of game they play. It's one or the other. The first could be the fact that she's very attractive and has many suitors, so she has to distribute her time. The second kind is the desperate kind that makes you feel special by messaging you nonstop, and that is their way of trying to let you know that they care when they simply don't and have nothing better to do. Specific month says, so this has been an ongoing theme in my time here in the Philippines. A lot of girls that I met just do not ask questions. When I'm online, of course, you are trying to get to know someone, so I asked a lot of questions, but they really don't ask back. I know their whole family history, their real name, and not their profile name, their work, and their whole bunch of other stuff. And you know what they know about me? Good question. Let me stop this person's story and let you know why they do not ask questions. You are looking at this situation as two people trying to get to know each other. So you are the one asking questions, but you forget that these women have zero interest in you. They don't give a shit about your background, your family, your work, or what your purpose in life is at all. They are simply waiting for the perfect time to ask you for money. That is why they do not care or ask you any questions. Why would you ask questions about a Ferrari that you will never buy? It's the same principle. They will never be interested in you as a human being. Therefore, they do not care about your whole family history, where you work, and your childhood, stuff like that. He continues by saying, then that's fine. But then it gets to the point where you meet this person in real life and they're staying with you and they don't ask a single fucking question. Today, a woman came to my place and I said, okay, get ready. We are going for a motorcycle ride. I live in the province, so I needed to go into town for groceries. No question about where we're going or what we're doing. And if I don't volunteer information, no one asks. So then I pull up to the grocery store and she is like, I thought we were going to the beach. And I said, what gave you that idea? I just thought, she said. Did you ask? I said. Do you see me holding up my bag with gear for the beach? A towel? So we get a big chunk of meats and other things and come home. She comes up to me this afternoon and asked me for the motorcycle keys to get some black paper. What do you mean, black paper? You know, black paper. No, I don't know. Anyway, I thought it's interesting to find out, so I had to give her the keys because I was just so surprised. That won't happen again, but I digress. She comes back with black pepper. Okay, that accent, but I have black pepper. Why didn't you ask me if I had black pepper? Next, I was doing some laundry and I asked her to go out of the back to turn on the water and she walked out to the front door. I told her that's not the back door, that's the front door. She said, oh, I thought you said bat door. Didn't you think it's strange to have a bat door? Yeah. Why didn't you ask me to clarify, or maybe I misspoke or something? I don't know. I know that I will look back at all of these stories and laugh at my misadventures, but why is that they can't ask questions? English is supposed to be their second language, so you would think there's no problem with communication. I ask them to repeat themselves many times per day. That's normal. And maybe some questions like, wow, you're so young. How did you get to move to the Philippines? What did you do for work? Do you have any kids? Why did you come here? Anyway, that is my rant. Now, for those of you who want to come to the Philippines because they speak English, you will be in for a big surprise. The ones that are fluent in English will have nothing to do with most of you men coming here. The ones that speak English on a regular basis or conversational level, They usually will go ahead and leave out, omit many words, or simply speak in broken English. If you are not used to that, if you've never experienced or traveled to other countries, you will have a hard time. Then there'll be those that have zero or at least very limited English, which you should not even communicate with since they probably are too young or too inexperienced. Lion King says, you have to remember that the average IQ in the Philippines is in the low 80s. It's probably even lower than it because IQ testing and gathering of statistic data is always done in more developed parts of the country, and the distribution of infrastructure and resources are far spread evenly in the Philippines. An IQ of less than 80 is considered to be cognitively impaired, and this is most of the countries, unfortunately. You have to understand that two people with a different cognitive abilities of 10 standard deviations are not living in the same universe at all. So if you're coming from a Western world where the average IQ is a little over 100 and the wealth is more evenly distributed, that is also something important to keep in mind. The low IQ in the Philippines. Year after year, they rank among the worst and least intelligent countries in Asia. IQ is not everything, but it's not simply a test. It is a good way to gauge a country's academic level. Oftentimes, Filipino men or women are simply not that intelligent. They are very simple beings. All they care about is the moment. They do not think. They can't even think logically. Something that you would think might be common sense is not common sense in the Philippines. If you do not clearly specify or completely provide absolute detail about anything, they will not understand. Simple things will just go over their head. Keep that in mind if you want to come here, because it will definitely trigger you, frustrate you, and repeated occurrences throughout the day might ruin your mood. This is a simple part of the hundreds, if not thousands, of things that will annoy you in the Philippines. Yes, this country is not perfect. It's not fair to compare to Western first world countries. I understand, but that is the whole point of these videos, to remind you that this is still a third world country with many unintelligent people. They just do not understand simple guidance. They do not understand simple directions. You have to literally show them what you need them to do, and the next day they will still forget about it. They essentially have the brain capacity of a teenager or a toddler, no matter their age. Many of these women could not tell you how to get to the store in their provinces. They are just that simple. I am exaggerating, of course, with that last statement. However, that is the level of idiocracy in this country. This is the catfish of the day. How do you go from this to this? Remember, the catfish photos are not trying to tell you how attractive the first girl is. It is to demonstrate the difference between some of their photos online and the importance of always doing a video call and ensuring that you are meeting the correct version of this person. It is time for the best comment from yesterday. Comes from Louis. The Filipina will claim that the relationship isn't going nowhere when you don't give them enough money. Well, ain't that the truth? Walking Boss says, these scammers can smell desperation, and a lot of the men are losers, old, broke, and fat. If you think a young, hot woman wants you, you will be used for your money. That is correct. There is no worse comment. Subscribe to spread the truth. Like, share. Thanks for watching. God bless.